Hi, Kurt. Today, what I wanted to talk about is a surprise that some of our clients have when they come and talk to us when we mention good debt, bad debt. And they're like, is there such a thing as good debt? And so what we do is we use the cash flow efficiency indicator tool, which is really our debt tool that really helps us understand the efficiency of our money within the debt system. And so what I'd like you to do today is really walk through kind of a typical kind of common client that we have with the debt that they have and explain the difference between the different zones, the good debt, bad debt, and that sort of thing. So can you start taking us through this document with Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Yeah, certainly. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, just our sample client again. We use this tool to begin recording the debt that people have. So we just listed here that Mr. and Mrs. Smith have a credit card, they have a second credit card, they have a car loan, a student loan, and a mortgage. So we then list what the balance is, how much they still owe on those things. So they owe, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and $150,000. And then we also list here what their minimum payment is. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I'm my minimum payment is $35 my credit card, but I'm paying $100. But we would put the $100 in if that was the case, just because we want to see what you're actually paying. So we get a total down at the bottom. And then what the cash flow efficiency indicator does is it will give us a score. And the score is just taking the balance and dividing it by the minimum payment and gives us a number. Basically, if you had no interest, how many months does it take to pay the balance off if you're paying this much a month? So in this case, credit card number one would take 86 months to pay off if there was no interest being charged at $35 a month, paying off $3,000. So we can see how that works. And so we get a number for each of those. And then the numbers are color coordinated in order to fit with our gauge up here at the top. And so our gauge tells us, is this loan an inefficient loan or is it an efficient loan in regards to your cash flow? In other words, is this taking a lot of money out of your pocket or just taking a little bit of money out of your pocket based on how much debt you have? Okay, so let's look at an example here. So there is one here, a listed, well, let's just start at the top. The credit card number one, it has a score of 86. So in our chart, anything that's between 0 and 50, called the danger zone, that is a loan that we probably should just try to figure out how to get rid of as fast as possible. Is there a way to pay it off and just be done with it? If it's between 50 and 100, that's the caution zone. That means it's a loan maybe we should think about reconfiguring. Maybe we can, refinance it or something like that. Combine it with something else or some other option. And then the final between 100 and 300 is the freedom zone. That's a loan that's very inefficient from a cash flow standpoint. So again, we're not spending very much for the amount of debt we have. So we can look down here. So that first credit card has an 86, falls in the caution zone. That's why it's orange. That's a loan we might want to reconfigure. But the next one is a 71, this credit card, and that's also in the caution zone. So I might want to reconfigure it. And then what we'll see is that the car loan is actually a 29. It's in the danger zone. That's a loan we probably want to get rid of as fast as we can. And here's why. Here's how that works. So you'll notice that on credit card number two, their balance is $5,000 and they pay $70 a month. That's their minimum payment on it. If you were to double that, which happens to be our car loan is double that. So they have double the amount that they owe on this debt, but their payment didn't double. It didn't go to $140. It's at $350. It's like 5 times as much.
Right.
So that is not a very efficient loan. It's spending a lot more cash flow to handle this debt, as opposed to the credit card, which is more efficient, although still in the caution zone.
Sure.
Notice that on the mortgage, then the mortgage is $150,000, so it's 15 times bigger than this, but your payment is only 3 times as big. So that's why this is a very efficient loan, because we're having small amount go out for the amount of debt we have, a lot of money going out for the amount of debt we have here. So that's what we use. This index up here helps us identify how to look at your debt. And we would say, hey, this is a good debt. Your mortgage is a good debt. It also has other benefits, but it's a good debt from a cash flow standpoint. Car loan, bad debt from a cash flow standpoint. So we would look at how could we utilize and look at your debt. Are there strategies we can offer that might help you free up cash flow or make these more efficient? So that's how we use that tool.
I think the important thing here too is a couple things. We do help people. You use the word consolidate, or kind of get some of this more efficient. And as we look at people's LEAP models, and you can get the video on about the LEAP model. When we look at the LEAP model, we can kind of start seeing ways and strategies in which they might not have been able to see how to reconfigure or get rid of this debt. They're just kind of throwing, like you said, $100 at that first payment or whatever they might be doing, trying to get rid of it. And it might not be the best way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I like about really, as we talk about strategy for people and looking at their debt, we talk about things like their student loan, because people have the mindset, I just need to get rid of my student loan. But sometimes that can, when they can really rationalize the value of what that loan has brought them and where that's at, those are the kind of conversations that we can really have to really help them formulate what debt they really want to get rid of and how to get rid of it. So having the conversation, we've seen where the line all the way through number 13 has been filled. So if you've got a lot of debt out there, don't be afraid of, reaching out and having us see what we might help you be able to do with this formula of getting your loans to be more efficient and not really throwing wasted money out that you don't have to be paying. So
yeah, and I would
Kurt,
add,
any final thoughts before we go?
Yeah, I would add that many times just we might by reconfiguring this, it's not necessarily, the goal is not necessarily pay out the debt as fast as possible, like
Right.
the financial gurus might say, but maybe there's a way to strategically do it and we can free up additional cash flow. And this sample couple, maybe we could free up $300-400 a month for them by just looking at the way they're using the dollars. And then they could use that money for more savings, or if they want to pay off the debt faster, they can. Or if they want to start using it to invest somewhere, there's a lot of options that we would look at when we see their big picture. But this is our tool to help us handle the debt side.
Again, it's about cash flow. It's about control of your money and being able to make decisions based upon it, and not have a knee-jerk reaction to everything. So thanks a lot, Kurt. Have a great day.
Yes, have a great day. Thanks.